So in today's passage we see Jesus praying, and there's something I love about the prayer life of Jesus. He just prays all the time. Tim Keller, in his book on prayer, writes this about Jesus' prayer life. He says, Jesus Christ taught his disciples to pray, healed people with prayers, denounced the corruption of the temple worship, which he said should be a house of prayer, insisted that some demons could be cast out only through prayer. He prayed often and regularly with fervent cries and tears, and sometimes all night. The Holy Spirit came upon him and anointed him as he was praying, and he was transfigured with the divine glory as he prayed. When he faced his greatest crisis, he did so with prayer. We hear him praying for his disciples and the church on the night before he died, and then petitioning God in agony in the Garden of Gethsemane. Finally, he died praying. And all the way through Jesus' life, you can see how important prayer is. And this is a moment where he's facing his greatest crisis and he turns to God in prayer. And for many of us, we only ever turn to God as a last resort. Jesus seems to have turned to him as a first resort regularly. And you see the disciples, maybe if you've been in the garden, you might have thought, wow, these are the guys that are really facing the crisis well, because there they are having a nice little sleep peacefully. But when it came to the crunch time, the other disciples, they ran away, or like Peter did, they disowned him. And the one who stayed up all night in prayer was the one who ultimately was able to pass the test that God the Father had placed before him. And for us, prayer is a great way of resisting temptation. Another word for temptation is testing. It's a great way to not just survive a test, but also to thrive in it. And so as we start a new year, why not consider what's my pattern for prayer? My basic rule with prayer, I think, is that it doesn't need to necessarily be long, definitely doesn't need to be complicated. It just needs to be consistent and simple. For us to regularly come to God in prayer, regularly turn to him, is a really important way of following God. So think about a pattern. You might want to pick the Lord's Prayer as an example. You might want to pick just another way of doing it. Some people have the acronym ACTS: adoration, confession, thanksgiving, supplication, which just means asking for stuff. Find a pattern that's simple but that works. Also, if you pray in a prayer language, if you have the gift of tongues, why not pray regularly in that and choose to do that every single day? Let's take prayer a lot more seriously. It's such a key weapon in the fight that we have as we try and live for Jesus all of our days. He used it. How much more do we need to do so as well?